With breaking news tonight, a federal judge in California has issued an order blocking Donald Trump's immigration officers from making arrests inside immigration courts anywhere in the country. In U.S. District Judge Casey Pitt's 71-page ruling, the judge writes, quote, "For 80 years, Congress has commanded federal agencies to think before they act. That instruction, codified in the Administrative Procedures Act, does not require an agency to make the choice that a reviewing court might deem preferable, but it demands that an agency at least provide sound reasons for following its chosen course. It is now clear that the lack of a connection between ICE's stated rationales for the 2025 courthouse arrest policies and the expansion of arrests at immigration courthouses results not from merely unreasoned decision-making, but a complete lack of decision-making." And the New York Times reports, quote, "The ruling came in a class action lawsuit challenging the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency and the Executive Office for Immigration Review, which is part of the Justice Department, over a surge in immigration-related arrests at courthouses and increasingly long detention of immigrants in ICE facilities intended for brief periods." And joining our coverage now is Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, the top Democrat on the Environment and Public Works Committee. He also serves on the Senate Finance Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, what is your reaction to this breaking news about the arrests that were happening in these courthouses?
Well, courthouses are supposed to be sort of protected places, but this has been going on for a while with ICE and CBP. We had an incident in Rhode Island where they had agreed not to operate in the courthouse, and there was a court rule that you can't take photographs in the courthouse, a rule for everyone. And despite the agreement, agents came in to operate in the courthouse. Despite the rule, they started taking pictures. They were such bozos that they were surveilling a high school intern while thinking they were looking for some 30-year-old guy. And then the kid was nervous and went to the judge he was interning for, and the judge walked him out to his car to drive him back to high school, at which point the agents went at the judge by way of genius clue behavior. He was parked in a judge's only parking spot, and they didn't seem to figure out that he was a judge, so they threatened to smash his windows and drag the kid out of the car, a judge, if he didn't turn over this high schooler. Eventually, they knew that they were wrong. They detained the kid for an hour. But this kind of behavior is what leads judges to get completely fed up with this misbehavior smack bang in their courthouses. So it really comes as no surprise when you look at their track record of violating an agreement, breaking the rules of the court, being idiotic about not telling a 19-year-old from a 30-year-old, not figuring out that a judge is a judge parked in a judge's only spot, and then F-bombing and threatening to smash the judge's car windows. Who does that? So I'm not surprised.
So the Senate voted again to limit Donald Trump's ability to wage war in Iran. This time 50 senators were enough to get it. 4 Republicans who've joined the Democrats before on this. A couple of senators were absent.
And Senator McConnell was missing.
Yeah, and Donald Trump's coming to the Senate tomorrow, at least he's scheduled to meet with Republican senators in their Wednesday lunch, where when you listen to Senator Tillis and some others, he could be running into some real resistance about where he is in his public negotiating with Iran, where Iran already seems to be allowed all of the revenues from oil production and oil flow, taking the sanctions off their oil, everything, before Iran's actually done anything.
Yeah, I think he's going to run into a lot more skepticism and irritation than he has before. You've got the Iran deal, which the more you look at it, the worse it looks. It looks like it's significantly worse than the JCPOA already, and allows tens of billions, maybe even hundreds of billions of dollars to the Iranians. At the same time, he stuffed this incompetent operative, his stooge, Pulte, in as the director of national intelligence, which is ordinarily considered a serious grown-up position, who's already firing people and has a history of rooting through private records for partisan political purposes. Then you've got Blanche coming over that they're all going to have to vote on for attorney general. He's no picnic. And in the meantime, just to put the cherry on top, you've got this complete fiasco with the reflecting pool, which doesn't matter really, except as an emblem of the incompetence and self-dealing in the Trump administration. So the whole thing just is, it stinks. It's rotten. And I think Republican senators, as they close in on November and look at losing their majority, they're getting all fed up with this kind of irresponsible behavior.
And senators like John Cornyn, who've already been knocked out in their Republican primary by Donald Trump, are going to be in that room tomorrow. Senator Cornyn has said he intends to ask some tough questions. It's one of those rooms we can never get a camera into, so we'll never know.
Wouldn't it be nice, though?
Yeah, it would be. Tomorrow would be the day.
Right, Lawrence?
Yeah,
to be a fly
tomorrow
on that
would
wall.
be the day. That's right. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.